And then on your province, they will indicate per province how many people you have to vote for. The names are there. You came with the names. Voting is to prioritize those names. IMSA is going to come here, take this platform and read. We got 600 names. They are going to read all of them for national to national. We've got 600 names. They're going to read all of them. When they are done, they're going to give you a chance to nominate any name you wish to nominate. Please, don't stand here and nominate a name that is there. We don't have time. The name that is there. After reading 600 names, you come and read another 601 name, which is a repeat. You must listen properly. And I don't know, SG, if this is going to be put on the screens as they go through. Please pay attention not to repeat a name that is there. If there is a name you feel very strong about and that name is not on the ballot, feel free to raise that name. And when you raise that name, there is no seconder, there is no objection. The name automatically goes into ballot. But if you're going to stand here, all of you, and nominate and just call names because you think it's fashionable and you want to be seen, you will sit here the whole night and you will have a ballot with 1,000 people. So help us to help you. The names are there. Whose name is missing in 600 names? No, it must be an extremely special name. Province to province, your names are there. They are going to be read. Free State list, brrr. Only Free State people will raise their hands if there is a missing name to add that name. And the same apply to all provinces. We do that with maximum discipline. No screaming when you raise your hand. No calling IMSA when you raise your hand. Raise your hand. It will be recognized. These leaders are here. They will be helping IMSA to look at the whole. If they are missing a hand, they will tell them there is a hand there. You don't have to say, this side, this side, this side, this side. No. You do that in a disciplined way. Why? There's no competition. You are raising a name. No one is competing with you. It's your name. You will get an opportunity to raise that name. You do that in a maximum disciplined way. So, and then we're all going was resisting and opposing apartheid. Our history is so common such that we can't look at each other as if we are of different races. We are one race, and that race is called humanity. We are one race because that race is black. So when we say we want to liberate black people economically, we mean Indians, Africans, and colors, because those were the most oppressed nations of our country. And you cannot talk liberation of the oppressed, yet preaching division of our people. We are the only organization that is hated for calling for unity of Africans. So we can't say, let's unite with Africans, but we can't unite with ourselves as Africans and Indians who are sharing the territory. So we love Winnie Mandela so much that our councillors went to a council to go and sponsor a motion that Gandhi Square must be changed to Winnie Mandela. And when that came to the attention of the leadership of the EFF, we told them that it is not going to happen because Gandhi also fought a good struggle in this country. And therefore, to put Winnie Mandela against the name of Gandhi is actually creating unnecessary divisions amongst ourselves. There are a lot of apartheid statues and places that we can name after Winnie Mandela. But we think where our office, our national office is, Gandhi Square, it's a rightful place and it is called with the right name. The EFF wants to protect all our people and wants peace and stability in our country. We are one organization that if we are given a responsibility, it will not take us 3 months to reduce crime close to nothing. Because we will not be the kind of government that will smile with criminals. We will not be the kind of government that will arrest men and women who took out AK-47 against the police who are carrying 9mm. Once you take such a dangerous weapon meant for war against the police, you must know you have made an appointment with your maker. Because no one must point a dangerous weapon. To say police, if they use force, they are going to end up abusing that power and killing even innocent people is not true. There was a group of police who were doing a good work in KZN, which was called Cattlemen. That group of police got so excited and ended up being involved in fights of gangsters and killing even innocent people. Because of our constitution and the way things are, that group of police was able to be exposed and they were removed from the police force. Because we've got checks and balances in South Africa to ensure that police do not abuse their power. But police feel scared in their own country, in their own communities, because if police are scared, then it's worse with us. It means we are dead. If those who are meant to protect us are scared, it means we are dead people. That's why in the EFF we say there must be a satellite police station in each and every ward where there will be police visibility. Let's take El Dorado Park, for instance. When we want to hold a meeting of the EFF at El Dorado Park at 6 o'clock during the week because we're thinking people will still be coming from work, we get told by community members that you can't hold a meeting at El Dorado Park at 6. It's not safe. It's dangerous. Why would a community come to such a conclusion and it becomes normalized that here after 6, no one must walk? Why can't we deploy sufficient police, especially after 6, because we know after 6, abnormal things are happening. The children can't walk to a library. They can't go and study as a group in another family because when it's time to go home, it will be late, and then girl children will be raped. We cannot have it as normalized that in Lanesia, children get kidnapped and people are asking for ransom money for those children to be released. And we thought it was children, Komisandlos. They now even kidnap old people and demand all kinds of money. And which means that the people of Lanesia will live in fear. And we cannot allow a situation where criminals are not scared and law-abiding citizens are scared. It's supposed to be the other way around, where law-abiding citizens are the happiest and those who break the law, they are very scared. But in South Africa, you want to live happily, you must be a member of a gangster or belong to a gangster. And those who don't belong to a gangster, when the darkness starts here in Lanesia, we are all running to our houses. In our own country, criminals have taken over the streets. Hence, the EFF says, we need patrollers. Not just patrollers, but patrollers who have resources and they can defend themselves. We want to hire no less than 100,000 officers in less than a year and put those boots on our streets and make sure that our people are looked after. Both here in Lanesia, the formal place, and even in the informal settlement. Because under the EFF, there will not be informal settlement. We will formalize it. And if they don't want to formalize, we'll forcefully formalize them. Because they can't stay in an area where there is no road. Where a person, Buddhali, just comes and put a shack where the taxi must go in, where the ambulance must go in. There will be law and order. And when we speak about Lanesia, we speak of everyone, Indians and Africans, both in the formal and informal settlements, will receive the necessary protection. But we will also pay the informants. We need to find a nice way, because informants remind us of people like Sir Ramaphosa, who were informants of apartheid. So we need to find, in Cuba, they call them defenders of the revolution. So we need to find a nice way of calling these informers, because the EFF government is going to give them money. How do you have crime intelligence that pays 300 rand per informer who gave them information about a dangerous situation where an Indian businessman is being kidnapped? We know where this man is. These people are demanding 10 million. If you do this, do that, you are going to find them at that place. They do exactly that. They find this person who kidnapped an Indian businessman. They save 10 million from that family and then give an informant 300 rand. And this informant takes a high risk by giving such dangerous information to the police. So informants are going to be paid properly so that they put their ears and their eyes on the ground and they know, if I deliver a successful information, I'm going to get enough money to support myself and my children. So we need to reclaim the streets by ensuring that police are there, patrollers are there, and informants are there, and our people become police themselves by not buying stolen goods. Because we make crime to flourish by buying stolen goods. A person comes with a laptop without a charger and sells it to you, or you'll make a plan with the charger. You must know already that there is a problem. Once there is no charger, there is a problem. You buy a TV, it doesn't have that cord of plugging. You know this was stolen. So we must not buy stolen goods. We want to ensure that we stop load shedding. Load shedding is man-made. It's not God-given. If you want to see that for real, load shedding is man-made, just remember when the World Rugby Cup was playing. The whole World Rugby Cup, we had electricity. How does electricity know there is World Rugby Cup? Only human beings know there is a game of the bosses. We can't take away the electricity. So immediately after the World Rugby World Cup, load shedding hits. Look at what they are doing now. They are trying by all means to keep the lights on until the 29th of May. So, I want to tell you that the electricity is going to go away on the 29th of May, 9 o'clock, when counting starts. Because they want us to count in darkness so that they can steal the elections the same way they stole elections here in Gauteng. So, it is because it's a human being's problem. It's not any other problem. We need to fix coal power stations and make sure those power stations are used optimally for the benefit of our people. But we need you to convert, because we spend a lot of electricity on heating, like on geysers. Why should we have electricity geysers when there is gas geysers? As part of government intervention to save electricity, we will give our people free gas geysers in exchange for your electric geyser, so that we save electricity. Why should we have electric stoves in our homes when we can have gas stoves? Imagine you remove heating and you remove cooking from the grid. You save a lot of electricity as an immediate intervention. But you need to go to China, you need to go to Russia and ask them to come and help you to conclude Medupi and Kusile, which we have been building for so many years and we don't seem to be getting them right. When one unit is working in Medupi power station, it's a call for celebration. They even issue a statement that one unit is working now. It won't last 6 months. In Medupi, you even have infrastructural problems with a power station that is not working optimally. And we just build it now. That's ANC government for you. Spend 8 billion on something that is not working, even now. Because we are defeated and we are confronted with a challenge, you go to your friends. Guys, come. One of the biggest coal power stations is found in China. China has got latest technology to make sure that they don't pollute a lot. So you go and ask for help. You need more power stations. You go to China, you go to Russia, you go to India, you go to anywhere where there are progressive forces and not exploiters, and say to them, come and build a power station in South Africa, your own power station. We don't want money from you, nothing. But you will own it for 30 years. After 30 years, you hand it over to us. They called it build it and operate it. And transfer. So build it. Imagine if we had allowed the Chinese or any other one with capacity to build a power station under BOT in 1994. That power station was going to be handed over to us this year and we'll be owning it. Why should you have a problem of electricity in South Africa when there is so much solution, yet your exploiters are saying close down your coal. Close down the coal, destroy coal power stations. After saying that, they place an order for coal. You don't use it, but bring it here, I'll use it. And then we are such stupidity. They even give us money. They buy us to get into trouble. How do I destroy a coal power station of 1,000 megawatts if there is no alternative 1,000 megawatts? I want green energy. I will destroy these coal power stations. If you say I destroy this one of 1,000 megawatts, give me 1,000 megawatts of clean energy. I must destroy my power stations because I want wind energy. When do I know wind is coming? Because it can be so windy now. And before you know it, it's like there was never a wind here. But coal, I know it's here. We have done our research. This mine of coal is going to take us so many years. It allows proper planning. So, introduction of the clean green energy should not be the destruction of our own base. We need to have our base so that we build from the base. How do you say there is a place in South Africa where you can travel for 100 kilometers on a gravel road? Government doesn't have money. But there are men and women here who have money. There is Robert Gumede. There is Patrice Motsepe. There should be many other Indians with money. You say to them, come and bid here to build a road on BOT. Build that road and put a toll gate. Not this thing they were putting here of e-tolls. And our people are going to pay for using that road because our people don't want free things. They want development and they will pay for it. You build it, you operate it, you transfer it back to us. After you made your money and you made your profit, that road will never expire because it's a quality road. So why must we be worried? So, when we say we want to own the land, we don't mean we are going to take these beautiful houses of Lanesia from you. We mean the state is the custodian of the land. Let me tell you this. The state is the custodian of water. This water you drink, it is owned by the state. It gets provided to you by the state. But you never opened your tap one day and felt less ownership of that water. That's why you even call it my water. My water. But if we say, show us the paper of ownership of this water, you don't have it. So why do you say, no, if the state owns this thing, we're going to feel less? No, the land is ours. The property on top of the land, it's yours. We want to collect all of this land so that the unutilized land must be given to those who will use it. There are people who have 100 hectares. One individual, 100, is a very successful farmer on 10 hectares. It has been like that for many years. He has never expanded beyond 10 hectares. But he's got 100. So many of you have got ideas on how you can do farming, but the most expensive thing is the land. So we take the land, no one gets moved from where they are staying, no factory gets moved, nothing, they are yours. Then we look at where the land is not being used. We'll come to you as an owner. Okay, what is the plan here? No, I'm fine here. What? Okay, let's take this one. Allocate it to others. Before you know it, there are 5 farmers. Each have got their own portion in a land that used to be owned by one. If many people flourish, we all flourish. But if it's one individual that gets to be celebrated for being rich in Lanesia and the rest of others are poor, there shouldn't be these informal settlements that we're talking about. We should have identified land and then allocate it to our people in such a way that they settle like human beings and not sardines. There is no dignity. There's no dignity in how our people are settled. In Alexandria, if you go to Alexandria, you'll be shocked. The situation is so bad. And there is a piece of land just next to Alexandria, owned by Wits University. What are the plans with that land? When Dalimpofu was at Wits, they were owning that empty land. He left. His son, Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, went. Wits was still owning that land. Did nothing on it. He left. Now, Mbuyiseni's son, Ratana Malema, will go to Wits. The land is still owned by Wits. Nothing is being done on that land. Yet, next to it, people are staying like sardines. And don't talk about it because you are going to scare the investors. We must allow our people to stay in that situation, in squalor, because some investor is going to be offended. You know, had we given our people free education in 1994, we were not going to need free houses or social grants. Comrade Carl, 1994 should have been about free education. Rich or poor, every child must go to school and be educated. So, today, we talk about increasing social grants, rightfully so, because there are no jobs and there is poverty. But there is no poverty in education. If you look at there are unemployed graduates. I'm not disputing that. But if you look at amongst the percentage amongst the graduates, it's very low of unemployment, which is a scientific confirmation that education is a weapon against poverty. Now they don't give us education. They give us RDP houses to keep us in poverty and illiterate because they love them uneducated. Educated people are going to challenge us. They will not vote for us. We want them suffering so that when they speak, we give them a t-shirt. When they speak, we give them food parcel. When they speak, we give them RDP. It looks like they speak a lot. We create jobs and call them mapanya-panya. What? Fake jobs of panyaza. But our people, have they been given house and free education, then they will be buying their beautiful houses now. That's why EFF insists on education. We want to make education fashionable. And that's why we say in the EFF, if you don't have matric, you can't go to parliament. We're not discriminating against anyone. We're simply saying you need to go to school. Of course, we've got elders amongst us. We can't ask our elders for matric. certificate. But if Provincial Secretary Mushe does not have matric, what was he doing all along? Because we got freedom in 1994. What were you doing? You can't say I was being prevented from going to school and. In the EFF, education is what will get you to succeed. We're going to support small business in the EFF because small business is the one that creates jobs. So, how do you support small business? All the food that is eaten at Sun City, what is the name of Sun City? Prison. John Joburg Prison. All the food that is eaten there must be produced here by locals here. All the food that is eaten at schools called feeding scheme must be bought here. What is so special about a tomato from Limpopo? Huh? You want to eat tomato, you must wait for a truck to come from Limpopo to come and give your children tomato in a feeding scheme. We can grow it ourselves here, knowing very well that we've got a customer, and that customer is our school. It's our prison. We always say children must go to school for free. They are not paying school fees. As if school fees is what makes education. No. Education is made by those buildings, by books, by uniform. You give them all of that. You say, no, you are poor, Shem. No, don't pay school fees, you are poor. But when it comes to buying uniform, they are rich. You say to them, buy uniform. How do you say I'm poor to pay a 200 rand school fees, but I'm rich to buy a 1,000 rand uniform? It can't be. There is some abnormality, some craziness that is going on. You give prisoners uniform for free, but you don't give school kids uniform for free. How do you do that? The people who are saying we don't want to be criminals, we want to go to school so that we become better people. They don't have uniform to go to school. But the day they commit crime, you are so prepared to give them uniform which you refused when they were outside prison. You want a free uniform, come to prison. That's what they are saying. You want free food, come to prison. When our people are going through hunger. So, we want you to know that we are a caring government that is going to support small business and make sure small business succeed, and government does business with the local communities where those institutions are found. So, we must make sure that when we vote, we don't vote with emotions. Someone was saying, why does it look like all these lawyers support the EFF? And then the other lawyer responded and said, because lawyers can think and they know what makes sense. And what makes sense now is the EFF and no any other organization. So be rest assured, this is your home, the EFF. It's a home of Indians. It's a home of colored. It's a home of whites. It's a home of Africans. Even white people are allowed. Here's a white man here. I don't think he's still white because he has rejected that privilege long time ago when it was not fashionable amongst white people to reject such privilege, and joined our struggle. That's why Carl can join. And that's why EFF people can vote for Carl to be very top on the list of the EFF. And they say, why is Carl so topical? Are you questioning democracy? But Carl's top was EFF trying to tell white people, we have no problems with white people. That's why we even vote for them to go to parliament to represent the EFF. You know, our people are being killed in Palestine. They want to wipe the whole nation off right in front of our eyes. They have occupied Palestine, and we who know what is occupation should have an appreciation of what the Palestinians are going through. We know when they call an organization a terrorist organization, what do they mean? Because even this ANC was called a terrorist organization when it was fighting for its own people. Nelson Mandela was called a terrorist himself for fighting for his own people. The Palestinians are fighting for self-determination. They want their land back from the occupiers. And what the occupiers do, in return, they kill Palestinians. So we cannot fold our arms and pretend that we don't see what's happening in Palestine. If there is no peace in Palestine, there won't be peace the whole world amongst those who love peace. No any part of the world must be characterized by war. We just enjoyed Eid now as Muslims. I hope as you are eating, you are dedicating also to those children and women who are being butchered. They didn't have Eid. Instead of having Eid, they were fed missiles, guns. Once they try to come together to pray, they are a threat to a certain group, and it kills all of them. Even kills UN staff members. Even bomb a hospital. Bomb a refugee camp. Let me tell you, even if the general of Hamas is in that hospital, once he runs into that hospital, it's done. We can't do anything anymore. You can't bomb a hospital because you say there is Hamas in a hospital. You have to find other ways to get to Hamas without bombing a hospital or a refugee camp. It's not called a refugee camp for nothing. That's why we took them to ICJ. That's why we support that decision. Because once you start bombing UN staff members, bombing refugee camps, you are violating international law. You are committing genocide. That is in violation of international law. You kill journalists. We don't love some of them here in South Africa, but we can't kill them. Journalists, whether you like or you don't like, you can't kill them. If anything, you must protect their freedom to report freely without any form of intimidation. So, why would a Muslim, a true Muslim, vote for DA that supports apartheid Israel, which is committing genocide? When you vote for DA, you are allowing what is happening in Palestine to happen. Because we in the EFF marched to Israel embassy and told them to leave because we can't share a territory with murderers. We only want to share land with peaceful people. We did not end it there. We proceeded to take it into Parliament. And we took a resolution in Parliament that South Africa must cut ties and remove the Israeli embassy. The ANC that pretends to care about Muslims is the one that must implement that decision. They are not implementing it. The support of the ANC for struggle of Palestine is pretentious. It's not genuine. I saw Ramaphosa on Eid going kneeling there, going, look at this one. He's pretending like he cares about our people. You care about the Muslims of South Africa, it means you must care for the Palestinians. Brazil removed the Israeli embassy. Brazil. There is another Arab state recently, I don't know if it's UAE or what. They too cut the diplomatic relations. Yes. So what we're saying is international solidarity is important. We benefited from international solidarity. There were big marches, big boycotts in London, in USA, in Washington, for the release of Nelson Mandela. They don't know. We were born, Mandela was already in prison. We came to join the struggle for his release without knowing his face. That's what the international community did. That we don't care whether we know his face or not. But he's violated because he's standing for the rights of his people. A Muslim that votes for a Patriotic Alliance, that took a platform and said, kill Hamas. You vote for ACDP, that said, we cannot cut relations with Israel. So, Lanesia has got a very good history of progressive struggles here. It cannot be that there is a single vote of the DA coming from this Ward 9. We don't want them here. We don't want them here. Why? They are allowing the killing of our brothers and sisters and our children. Who support killing of children? Who identifies kids as a threat? Even the ANC cannot be voted for because the ANC should have shown seriousness by removing that embassy. They have not done so. All they do, they go to ICJ, International Court of Justice. They are there talking. It's easy to do that one because, you know, the court issues take forever. They are buying themselves time. The immediate thing now is to remove the Israeli embassy. That's when we know we are practically in solidarity with the people of Palestine. McDonald, you are talking about, received a letter from EFF and said, do you have any product there that comes from Israel? They said, no. We buy our food here. They gave us the list. Said, we believe you. No problem. We went to Woolworths. We said, we know you are selling Israeli food. Only the EFF did that. No any other party did that. Said to Woolworths, do you have Israel food products? They said, no, we are left with what they said the name. Some 10%, give us 2 weeks, we'll sell all of it and then we'll not order again. We said, there's no 2 weeks because people are dying now. By supporting any product from Israel, you are supporting the genocide against our people. We said to our student command everywhere, no lecture or visiting lecture or any teaching material should enter our universities, or enter our TVET colleges if they're coming from Israel. We're not saying Jewish kids can't learn in our universities. No. But we're refusing the products that comes from that government which kills people. So, we're making a plea today that Lanesia Ward 9 is a no-go area for those who support genocide. And we are not going to block them physically. We are going to block them through our vote. Vote for the EFF and have the load shedding stop immediately. Vote for the EFF and have the jobs for our people. Vote for the EFF, have everyone have a piece of land. Vote for the EFF, see the removal of Israeli embassy in June, immediately in June. That, if you vote for the EFF, that is going to be in the acceptance speech of the president. That with immediate effect, we want the Israeli embassy closed. My Indian community, I know you are poor like all of us, but you have a little bit. I ask you to donate to the EFF. Not only in money terms. Goods, food. These volunteers of the EFF are not working. They don't get paid by anyone. All you can do is to give us that support so that we can claim back this Lanesia and take out the criminals. That's the first challenge I give to you, to donate to the EFF and make it successful. The second challenge is to challenge all the females who are Muslims to donate sanitary towels to poor females every month. That if you care, we're not asking a lot. Just identify one or two and say, these ones I'm going to buy them sanitary pads every month. Why? Because those girl children who come from poor families, when they experience nature, they don't even go to school because they are ashamed. You give them sanitary pads, you restore their dignity and their confidence. You are well-known business people. The good thing is that we can learn a lot from you. You're working hard, you've got successful businesses, you make our economy to be what it is because of your hard work. We want to learn from you. We want you to teach us. You can't teach us by just talking. As an Indian family, each one of us must adopt one African child who is going to be under our family mentorship and say, you come here, we want to teach you how business work. We can produce through you. Because you are doing that with your children. Your children just become successful. It's a generation after generation. Go and break a generation after generation of poverty. Because ours is poverty. It's passed from one generation to the next generation. One generation, we inherit poverty. But you are coming into our lives and say, we want to teach you. You could have broken a generational curse in that family. So we are making a plea that all successful business people, especially Indians here in Lanesia who have successful businesses, please adopt certain families and teach them. Let us not be a group of complainants. Sometimes we need to take action. And once you liberate as many families as possible, some of these things we are complaining about of crime and all of that, they get reduced because people have got something to do. All I'm asking is, give us something to do. Let's work together as a community. And the only thing that can unite us is for us coming together. Once we work together, there's nothing that can divide us. That's why they keep us divided, because they are threatened by our unity. Our unity is going to produce something that has never been done in this country. Today, we take our children to multiracial schools and white schools. So one day, my son says to me, "Hey, Chief, I hear that you are going to drive away white people when you take over government." Me says, "Yeah, everybody is speaking about that." "Okay, do you have a problem with that?" "Okay, does it mean my friend who's white, so and so, is also going to be driven away?" He has now come to know white people. He interacts with them. He realizes these are human beings. There's nothing wrong. He takes it upon himself to defend them, because he's got a working relationship with them. That's what we need to do. We need to have a working relationship in order to defend each other. And mentorship, I don't mean donations. Mentorship, I don't mean food parcels. You know mentorship better than me. Because we shouldn't live here and say, "No, we can't adopt any family because we're already giving them food." That is just for that time. You give them a skill, it's forever. You will not have to give them food parcels. So, I make a plea, Mubarak, let's work hard. Here in Ward 9, I'm impressed with the work that you guys are doing in this ward. And let's continue to work very hard. It's not going to be easy. For the EFF, this is a virgin area. So we're breaking new ground. And we're going all out. We're going all out to talk to our people so that even when you reject us, don't reject us on the basis of the headlines. Reject us on the basis of the message we gave you. You heard from us. No newspaper can speak for the EFF. We can speak for ourselves, and that's what we are doing. And we are going to meet all types of communities. We are going to Eldos. We are going to, on Wednesday, we are going to be meeting even the white communities, because people come and lie about us. And it's high time we speak for ourselves. That you think we are going to take your business, we are not going to take your business. We are going to double it. You are going to be more successful under the EFF. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We can remain seated so that we can now take questions and engage the President and the Commander-in-Chief of the EFF. I'm going to allow the first 5 hands who are willing to Tumsani and your coordinator of the sub-region, can you assist us with the distribution of the mic? And you're going to be number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and the old man at the back will be the number 5 is our first row. Can we be settled so that we are able to hear the questions? Can I have the roving mic? Number 1, thank you very much. You state your name, please. Thank you very much.
Imagena, and I own a home school in Indonesia South. I am here to ask for help from you. It's been forever that I'm trying to register my homeschooling. I have Dudula behind me that is always threatening me. They're threatening me to close down my school. They intimidate me. As I'm sitting here now, I've just sent a message to the secretary of Ward 9 where Dudula is intimidating me for sitting here in this meeting. I am urging you to please assist me with my school. Furthermore, I am worried about the Bella Bill. The Bella Bill is now taking into legislation where our Hafiz classes and our schools are being threatened by it. So as a person or as a principal or leading a leadership, I would like to ask you to please read through the Bella Bill and assist us with the Bella Bill. We are Muslims, we are Catholics, we are Christians. It is going to affect our children. It's going to affect our girls. It's going to affect our boys. We won't be able to perform religiously. And also, rape is one of the things that is going to become more in our communities. My daughter in 2021 was murdered. And I would like to carry her legacy because she was an educator. So that is why I am here today, making an appeal to the CIC to ask him to please assist me, my school, and all the children that face challenges at my school. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Number 2. Indonesia South. Thank you.
You have a brilliant mind, and I'm very, very impressed with what you had to say.
Thank you very much. Our number 3 is here. Carlo, yeah. Thank you.
Hello. My name is Fatima. My surname is Abed. I'm an ex-educator. What is very, very worrying, first of all, let me say, I'm very impressed with what has been happening here today. I just hope that you follow through with your promises. It must not be empty promises because of the voting. The next thing is, what we are very concerned about is our teachers, our Indian teachers particularly, do not get placed in our schools here. All these vacancies are given to the African teachers, not that we mind, but at least have our Indian teachers also fill in posts. Why should they not be given posts at school? They do not consider the Indian teacher at all. And this is a bit of an alarming situation because these teachers studied. They studied very hard, but they have no jobs. Where do they go to? Please try and help this condition, please.
Thank you very much. Number 4 is here, Carlo. Yeah, the old man is number last. Number 4 is. Thank you, MMC.
Good day, CIC, and good day to all. I want to say Jazakallah to everybody, and thank you for coming to this event. I just want to bring up that we've got a lot of members and friends that are actually domestic workers. Teachers are actually, and principals are demanding for school fees. They are demanding for school fees whether they finish matric to get a matriculant jacket. Domestic workers earn below the bracket. School fees are 4,500, 2,500. Some of them only earn like 2,500. We have parents that are divorced parents who are sitting with 5, 6 children. Why is it not that they have to pay 4,500 per child over 7 of them? Children cannot get placed as well in Indonesia. We have parents who are living within the district, which they go to department and department tells them to be placed in El Dorado Park, or perhaps get placed in Indonesia South. The problem with transportation is that a parent is only earning 4,500, coming to the means of paying for a roof over head and trying to make means for a plate of food. The teachers will tell the child and insult the children and tell them, you can't pay school fees, you have to be removed. You can't pay school fees, you're not allowed to get a matriculant jacket, or you cannot attend a matric ball. So this is bringing pressure. A lot of kids within our community has committed suicide. We do not have counselors within schools. We need counselors to be within schools for children to get counsel lessons. We need the normality of knowing that we have children with disability problems. We have one disability school in Lenasia. If every ward has one in Ward 9, that Ward 8 and Ward 10, Lenasia South, everybody's applying at the same school. So we cannot get placed for our children on special aid schools. Our parents and our kids that are applying to become teachers as well. Teachers within Lenasia are applying for, that's residing in Lenasia, has to go and apply for schools out of Lenasia. It's costing them money, it's costing them traffic, it's costing them safety as well. So we wanted to find out, parents and students and teachers, could they be placed within that ward? Makes less traffic, makes less issues. Children that are underprivileged as well. Is there not sort of a transportation facility? Because currently kids are paying $450 just for transport per child per month. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Number 5, yes.
Hello. Thank you for giving me this time. I just want to report the Master of Johannesburg, the Master's office, where the Deed's office, not the Deed's office, the Master's office. The Master's office is so corrupted. I can bring documents to you where we never consent to a sale. It's done underhand at the Master's office in Johannesburg. We are pioneers of Lenasia. We were thrown out from nuclear Matlera. We came here to Lenasia. We started our life here. There was nothing. It was an empty felt when we came. And today our properties have been taken away by the Master of Johannesburg with the corruption that's happening there. The Master is there for 30 years. And he's been pocketing money from from properties and from estates, where monies are in deceased estates account. And we can prove that to you. We got documents to bring to your office to show it to you that my mother had X amount in the bank and the money is missing. It's not even showing in the L&D account. The government, the first thing our constitutional says, there must be consent to everyone of the family who wants to sell the property. But the Master said there's no need for such a thing anymore. It's scrapped from his side. The Master, Mr. El Pule, the Deputy Master, Mr. Beatrice van Wyk, and we get the Assistant Master who was charged several times for theft. He was charged several times for theft. And it's from Soweto, they moved him back there because he knows how to handle the documents and get his own executor to do all the fraudulent things at the Master's office. So we can bring it to your office whenever you're available. My number is 083-6224-920. I'm prepared to bring all the fraudulent documents to your office to show that nobody's equal, according to our president said, everybody's equal against the law. 2016, my mother passed away. The estate hasn't been rounded up because there's so much corruption in this estate. We need the help, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That constitutes our last hands. It's fine.
Hello.
There you can go.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For the CIC, Mr. Julius Malema, thanks a million for availing yourself, coming to the hub of political change in South Africa. Mr. Malema, I would also like to take this platform to applaud you for some of your initiatives, the dismantling of the e-toll, the NHI, to a large degree, your stance with regards to nationalizing certain assets. But my question to you, Mr. Malema, is, I'm quite certain that you will be a prominent figure in government. I'm pretty certain about that. But Mr. Malema, the lifeblood of any economy, the jugular vein of any economy is the price of petrol, the price of fuel. Since 1994, there has been a total disruption with the price of petrol. There has not been a month that has gone by since 94. And we envisage another massive increase next year. So my question to you, Mr. Malema, is next month the motorists must expect another massive fuel increase. And I say I'm quite optimistic you will land in certain big seat in government. What would be your stance to control the price of petrol? Because if that is not governed properly, that will definitely, Mr. Malema, lead to a country that is dysfunctional and totally enshrouded in poverty and whatever else that goes with a country that's not functioning well. Thank you, Mr. Malema.
Thank you very much, President.
Thank you very much for the inputs. If you heard them properly, Chairperson, they were not asking questions. They were making inputs to enhance the manifesto of the EFF. Home schooling registration, I think the best thing will be to come to the office so that we can find a way, get more details, and then we'll establish where the obstacles are, and then we can deal with that. The Dudula, it's unemployed ANC crooks. They claim to be ex-combatants, but if you listen to all of them, if they visit your firm or your factory or your establishment, all of them are drunk. It's a group of drunkards who are going around intimidating people. So you must not fear anything, because Dudula knows EFF doesn't play games. So when they come to intimidate you, please just make a call to the chairperson of the branch. He will know how to deal with them. We have dealt with them before in many places, and we even got some of them arrested. You remember they went to raid a house of our member. They said he was a drug dealer. Poor, extremely poor person. Beat him up and all of that. We took them to jail, opened the case, and their boss was sentenced to 5 years. And that 5 years was suspended. So if he makes a mistake in between the sentencing and that 5 years, we'll get him arrested immediately. So please, there's no room for intimidation in South Africa. The chair of the branch will know what needs to be done, and it will be done. The education bill, we had to, and there's a huge debate about it. We will have to pay closer attention to it and make correct inputs. My condolences with the passing away of your daughter, and I'm happy that you are carrying a legacy, which is education. What 120, Lanesia South, they are asking for your attention, Moshe. They're saying there's no visibility of the EFF, and they'll be happy if you can be visible that side. The issue of promises, Mama, we don't make a promise, we make a commitment. So everything else that we said we'll do it. You know, these journalists are here. Which year was that, Dali, where you went to the e-tolls you went with the carton? There is a video of Dalimpofu in 2014, CD, cutting the e-tolls, saying the e-tolls must fall. As a premier candidate of Gauteng in 2014, he was cutting those e-tolls, said, when we take over, will cut them. Yesterday, I see Panyaza and ANC doing a countdown of switching off the e-tolls. We said that in 2014, that these things we're going to switch them off. We don't want them and we are not going to pay. In the EFF, no one paid. We said this 10 years ago because we see things that are still to come 10 years ahead of us. The ANC is 10 years behind. It's following the EFF. Instead of showing the video of Dali cutting the e-tolls, they show us a countdown of people who are solving a problem they created because they think we are fools. They created e-tolls. They said we're mad when we said don't pay. We said we're not doing. No single one of us paid in the EFF for e-toll. We refused. And we went literally and showed you how we are going to destroy the e-tolls. So I'm just giving you an example about that. That we said we are going to do this and we fought until the government realized it has got no option. If there was no EFF in parliament, imagine. These e-tolls, no one would have challenged them inside because it was EFF challenging e-tolls single-handedly in parliament. Without the EFF, no one would have challenged. The DA can't challenge it because those companies are white-owned and those are the donors who give the DA money. We need to place Indian teachers, especially in the areas where they come from. I think that is the most honorable thing to do. You cannot have a school where the school is dominated by the people who don't come from where the school is. Because when they come from their Buddha, they know they are teaching their children. They will have to care and even double the effort, including involving the parents of those children informally, because they come from the same community. And because we come from the same community, we are somehow related. We are relatives. So when a child is misbehaving in front of me and he knows I know the father, and I say, stop it, because I'll take it to your parents, he will know that this is true because I know they know each other. So it also helps in instilling discipline and also helps in intensifying quality teaching. And I'm happy that the speaker does not say, we don't want Africans. They say, let's be mixed together and be one in our schools. The same thing with placement of children. Because children must be placed according to their address. So you look at the address and you look at the nearest school. That's where they have to go. So we can't have our children taken from here to somewhere else. Because even when we are not there at school, we want to be there as parents. They have to be in a close proximity. Just in case something goes wrong, we are able to quickly intervene. So, the placement of children here in Gauteng has been a disaster. Especially online application. We have been helping a lot of parents to place their children where they stay. We even did a sit-in, Mushe, in the district or province. We did a sit-in demanding the registration, the placement of children at schools. No any other party has engaged in a matter like that. And counseling in school is very important. In the EFF design of the school we are going to build, in the organogram, counselors are there. And counselors are not only for kids, are also for teachers. Because there are times where a teacher comes to school, but you can see there's something wrong. There must be someone in close proximity to speak to. Children put teachers through a hard time. They too have to go to the counseling so that they teach being under a very good condition mentally. So I think it's a demand that we should make, that every school must have a counselor so that our children can be counseled, because our children also go through a lot at home. They need to come and talk to someone, and school must be a safer place where our children can go. Ma'am, any school that says a poor person must pay school fees, please bring that to the attention of the EFF. No poor child must pay school fees. It's by law. No poor child must pay school fees. So we will take them to the school and tell the school that these children, their mothers are domestic workers. Even if the school is not a no-fee school, there will have to be exception on the following children because their parents are poor. We have done that before. Once you bring it to our attention, we'll attend to it. We have also collected matric certificates from principals who were saying, this child did not pay a school fees, we can't give them the results and all of that. We said, show us where you've got a contract with this child. Because you don't have a contract with the child. You've got a contract with the parents. Follow the parents. The parents, these are not parents' results. These are my results. You can't fight with my mother through me. I don't get involved in issues of old people. You guys go and sort it out there, but give me my results so that I can apply for school. If there is anyone who's doing that, withholding results of children because of school fees, bring that to the attention of the EFF. We'll attend to it with immediate effect. Very interesting topic of the master's office. I think appointment should be made. You come to the office, we sit down, and I'm happy you are even singling out individuals, saying names, because that's how we work in the EFF. We want the name and the face so that we know what kind of animal are we dealing with here, which is stealing people's monies. So don't worry. Once you bring it to our attention, the advocate is here. The legal office of the EFF is fully equipped with qualified lawyers. Those are the kind of issues we want, where we can nip corruption on the bud, where we can fight corruption. No one must lose his or her property because of the corrupt officials who are not working hard, but they live large because they steal from. Imagine one day you wake up, you are told your property was bought. You never signed anything, no, and the papers are here. And you don't have the means to can fight them. They're a powerful institution. EFF is your home. Come there. We don't even have to write a lawyer's letter. We write an EFF letter. Please resolve that issue in the next 14 days. Otherwise, we don't know. Then the matter gets resolved. The matter gets resolved. So, the price of fuel is extremely expensive, and you are right. There is no economy that can stand without fuel. Well, fuel is for everything. Now, one of the immediate things we'll have to look into when we take over government is the petrol levy. If the petrol is this expensive, why do you put so much levy in it as government? So that can be an immediate relief while we are looking for a permanent solution. There are a lot of countries that we can get fuel from. The problem is that these people are in trade agreements with wrong countries. Instead of us accessing things in a cheap way, we get them from these ones who have colonized us, and they also put more profit on those things. If we had started building a pipeline from Venezuela to South Africa from 1994, we could be done by now. And we could be getting fuel from Venezuela in a reasonable manner. But because the leadership is in trade agreements with the West and America and them, they are unable to go and source a cheaper fuel. So we are not in agreement with anyone. We are in agreement with the people of South Africa, and we must find them an affordable fuel. And as an immediate intervention, we'll look into the levy, and as a permanent solution, we'll look at where can we source fuel in a reasonable way so that we give our people a fuel, not this expensive fuel that increases every month. When I was in Venezuela, they were buying a liter of petrol with an equivalent of R1. They are not, it's clear, they are not buying petrol. They are buying cars and you are given petrol for free. I mean, I looked at that and I was like, if we were to take a pipe from here to South Africa, South Africans will be the happiest people. Here, you buy a car, you pay installment of that car every month, and pay another second installment called petrol every month.
Beg, Rab Kopana les Chava. Utso ya hore na re ka forma mokgatlo wa politiki le tla o supporta batho ba Zamdela batho ba Sasolburg but you are wasting time. You must form a political party, and that party was formed and it is now called the EFF. Therefore, we want to thank the people of Sasolburg for having given us courage, for having said to us, go and form an alternative for our people. Re re o lena ka di 29 May 2024, there will be an organization on a ballot paper called the EFF, and this was made possible because of the people of Sasolburg, because of the people of Zamdela. So every time you want to thank people who made it possible for the EFF, you must thank the people of Zamdela. The EFF's courage comes from Zamdela, comes from Sasolburg. Comrades, more Free State mo, honale 23 municipalities. Kaufela atsona, kaufela, not even a single one, can produce a clean audit according to Auditor General. Not one municipality is clean. There is no municipality where you can say, I'm so proud of this municipality in Free State. Not one. And when the municipalities were collapsing and when the municipalities were not getting a clean audit, Tukwan was MEC of Kokta. Today, Tukwan, who collapsed the municipalities of Free State, got a promotion and they made him the premier. Because in the ANC, when you are lazy and corrupt, they give you a promotion. They don't want honest people. They want criminals. They want people who collapse the institutions that are going to better the lives of our people. So today, in a municipality, ye corrupt, ye collapsing, only metro in Free State, yet it can't get the most basic right. How ya ko Mangaung, o better smell sa drainage, sa sewer, because the sewer and the drainage system are dysfunctional. But ba ko Mangaung, bana ba bona ba dlaka metsi a sewer a mathango strateng, because the ANC failed to give the people ba ko Mangaung a real government which cares about the people of Mangaung. Maloti a Phofung le yona e palelwa kuntsha a financial statement. But what is worse, they are owing Eskom billions of rands, yet they collecting money all the time. They owe Water Board 6 million. How are they going to give the people of Maloti a Phofung a clean water when they are failing to pay 6 million to the Water Board? Comrades, there was a cholera outbreak last year that took the lives of the people. Mara, till today, the ANC has got no systems in place on how they are going to fix the sewer spillage which was going into the Val River. But till today, there is no system on how we can save life. It's not only here, it is also in Hanskral, where people died of cholera. How can you die of cholera if you have a functional government? How can you have a sewer spillage into the water that people must drink when you've got a responsible government? So go Tshwane, ke DA today, mo ngwate ke ANC ngwate, yet they do the same thing. What is common about the two of them is that they don't care about an African child. Comrades, but le ba ko Maloti ba tshepishwa 220 million by Lindiwe Sisulu ba tlo fixa metsi le today asanga bo 200 million or ile ko kae. So we say to you, Halio voter, there was money dedicated to give you clean water. And that money is nowhere to be found, yet we still don't have a clean water. So, comrades, only the EFF in Free State can make things possible. More EFF is a high fit, you'll see that the EFF was. EFF, it's all on a line. Mama Winnie Madixela Mandela, or by Tie, Mama Winnie Madixela Mandela Museum. After Bajile Chele, ya Mama Natural Yona, Bramford. The EFF exposed that corruption. Today, that house in place, it's a museum because the EFF fought very hard for that house to be built. Comrades, EFF, it's a intervene everywhere, especially more international institutions. But you find that those institutions are not registered and their causes are recognized. As a result, there is still money from our brothers and sisters. The EFF to those institutions, not as a courtesy visit. We go to them and we have been closing them here in Free State one by one because we cannot allow any institution to provide a qualification that is not recognized. That is stealing from our own brothers. Comrades, no confidence ko Mangaung ha batla o re tsebe ra remove mayor wa ko Mangaung wa ANC corrupt lwa le yena until today ba o mongwe a palwa yena motho wa ANC because but ba ANC combined how na o mo betere they are all the same. So how or replace a motho wa ANC a motho wa ANC you are moving from something worse to something extreme. So you must never say there is something better in the ANC. Agra ncha Zuma nernana Zuma West. No return to go as long as utswa o ANC. Otibor how move on corrupt. Oyako more corrupt. Because Ranko wile achia chelete di dola adi Kenya kamara matrasi adi Kenya kamara di sofa mara nerizuma corrupt mara zaka tsenya chelete kamo matrasi abona riolo ritsamile to west from west to extreme west and ukiputse how to ramaphosa ho tsena le titi ba reng Paul Mashatile la le mafia la tla la destroy our country the same way he destroyed Alexander. How about South Africa e tshwane le Alexander o kgethe Paul Mashatile. So how ruto Paul Mashatile o kopana le Mbalula machapa skolo are leader people. So Tabo Pusanyan Matseba EFF it's any because the EFF managed to assist 480 people about land, or this land must be occupied. And today there is a case about EFF on that land. The EFF got them lawyers to defend them because that land belongs to them. Comrades, the EFF in Malutia Pofung Yalwa, Kiona, the only organization in that municipality that is holding the corrupt accountable. Manzupa, Hauka Fita, Wakutaka EFF will tell you that the EFF made municipal officials to be charged with fraud and corruption. So we don't want to get involved in corruption. Anyone who is corrupt in the ANC will be exposed by the EFF. That is why we don't want EFF councillors who are friends with corrupt ANC councillors. Showed you amongst us. More exposed immediately and remove her from that office, because we believe that our people must benefit from the services of the government. Comrades, we want land to be given to our people here in Free State, and not just land to settle. We want our people to be given proper land where they can do farming. There must be a farmer from each and every family, because Baba farming came as you don't want anything to do with farming, but you are forgetting that mango, cabbage, meat comes from farming. So halisa farming, hora lija di jote fanke maburu, and hamaburu akakwa di jotela because you are not farming. So rebakore le farme, le party, le produce all types of products, because we fought to have Africans, in particular women, participating in the production of salt and sorghum. So we want more people to participate in agriculture. 40% of potatoes and 40% of white maize comes from here in Free State. Who are the ones who are producing maize here in Free State? There's poverty in Free State because the maize is not produced by you. So you have to produce the maize, because without producing food for yourself, you are at the mercy of the white Afrikaners. Comrades, we are not taking land from the white Afrikaners. We are saying to them, the land goes to the state and is owned by the state. So that if you don't use it for the right purpose, the state can give another one to use that land for the right purpose. And people die. We must never do that. We must take our people to a proper land. We must make sure that as we give our people land, let's cover for the peace. Like Moy Dry, I remember to Baruna, this stane, just to because the EFF is coming to give you jobs. One day, let us say and build proper houses in these yards that we are giving you. Comrades, rebata hole mesebetsi mo Free State. Rebata mesebetsi in agriculture, in mining, in road construction, in infrastructural development, decrease way more Free State. Once we give you a project to go and get water from Pearl River to anywhere here in Free State, that is jobs for our people. So when you don't build a new infrastructure, you will never have jobs. We need to industrialize. We need to open firms. The bereke ko di feme. Comrades, le a tseba hore mo South Africa menches, di stitchela tsa menches, di produciwe mo South Africa. They come from outside. Plate e wena o jang ka moara yona ya plastic. It come from outside. But it producer get the byproduct ya sasol. That byproduct by China is a converter into plates, plastic plates. So why that byproduct? Re sa inkerena, re pule feme, re produce the plates more Free State more, because plates are being used every day. The customer already. Plate ya utswa China. Ke batla o jaka ra plate. I don't care. And when it comes from us, I even care more, because I know by buying local plates, we are supporting business and supporting jobs. Fighters, why South Africa epalela ku produce koloi? We don't produce a car in South Africa. Mara, we now produce a flying machine. Flying machine, the most sophisticated fighter jet, which is very powerful, and other nations want it. It was produced here in South Africa, but we don't produce cars. If we produce cars, we're going to create more jobs for our people. And if we produce cars, we already have customers, because Africa loves everything South Africa. Once you produce cars, Africans will come and buy them because they love the quality of South Africa. So those are the things we are going to do to create jobs in South Africa. We are going to make sure that as long as we have the ID, ya South Africa, the qualification, you must get a job. Mesebetsi is ka fiwa ma ANC fela. How silly ANC, how tole mosebetsi. How silly fashion, ya tukwane, how tole mosebetsi. Mo ANC, mo di paleng kaofela, tse di busang ke ANC. Ba hira batho ka thobalano. Ba donosa ho thola mosebetsi. O sa donosa ba ra ho le mosebetsi. Alo ntweo ya ho donosa ya fela. Ro le fa mesebetsi kaofela lona, whether you are whether you are ANC, we don't care. As long as we na le pasa ya South Africa, we na le qualifications. Fathers, re batla ho le agela matlo. And this house that we're going to build must be quality houses. And must not be, by the way, houses ter di bona mo sa solo ta ANC. Habas no haba tsamaya ya crack. So we want to build proper quality houses. And these houses must have a flushing toilet inside the house. Because it's not a house if it doesn't have inside toilet. If it has got outside toilet, it's a glorified mukuku. It's not a house. So a house is actually 3 bedrooms. A house must have a lounge, a dining, it must have a kitchen. And mabota dividan di kamora. Aswantia ariwe double brick. Hore habat ba holo ba etsan tota batho ba ba holo. Ba ska utlwan tota batho ba ba holo. Not in twisted ANC tse. Re ke tshwara mkamare ngwana o le tsanga mo. Because the houses have not given you the dignity we want to give to you. Rebana hore kaofela dinto tse di be le flushing toilet, and all our people in every state must have flushing toilet. Because house not toilet of flusher, you are treated like an animal. Because people follow fela. Habetsa ububia ya bubona. When as a human being, how so if they've given you pit toilets, if they didn't give you flushing toilets, they are treating you like an animal. How your voter and the West, I get all over your voter, but I told ngata e re kene toilet yo voter o tsena toilet ya mukoti ya o se flush ya o matha ke everywhere. How gona mo wa lebala, you vote the same people who did not give you a toilet. Unyaka toilet eu how tsena ko yona even the last reminder or ka toilet will not vote for them. Just for this way I born, just for this toilet, I will not vote for them. We need you this time not to vote with your heart, but vote with your brain. Mandela, Mandela ke motho wa rona. Una Mandela o motho Julius Malema, kena re tsamayana. Oscar una ANC ausana una le ANC yentsha awetsa ntho tse pila And that agency is called UFF. Kuona mokhatlo wa batho, kuona mokhatlo wo o tlo leka. No, ha re tlo etsa door to door, ha re tswa mo. Le tlo bona batho ba ANC, ba tlo ka di food parcel, ko malapeng a lona, ba lefa di food parcel, le na bonkgono ka mo tete, ba tlo lefa di food parcel. Le ka di ana, tlo di kubo, le ka di ana, nka dilo tseo, le tsenye ka mo ntlo le re ekiatla. Hore aska maka John, le mo ntlong, o bue hore ya. Hale ke le emetse di crew. Wa gopola hore ka nako ela ya COVID, e bele e fa batho food parcel ka difane le ka mokgoletsanang lona, rena le re tsampa le fe di food parcel. Alo, tsa mo bo ja di food parcel jela, or do vote. Ka hore ka nako ela no swantse o tsebile hore this day is going to le ba hopotse hore ba ile ba epa mabitla a 1 million ba ka bola kaofela ba tsenye ka mola mabitleng ba nka rena ba iutswa ba shumisha bolwetse ba re tšhelete ya utsiwa mabitla ba vote ke 1 million graves ba di epileng ba re ba tlo boloka South Africans. Fighters, rena mo EFF, re nyaka free education. Re nyaka bana ba ye dikolo mahala. And then bana ba to make grade R, ho fitela a graduate go university. How fitla university, a re batlo o tele death certificate ntata. A re batele yan mama. Re batla o re ID number fela. The ID number is going to tell us or ngwana o tswa from no fee school, or ngwana na thola feeding scheme ko skolo, or ngwana mama ha ke beneficiary ya SASSA, automatically qualify to get into the school. We want education to be free, and we want education to be fashionable. Ke batlo le kopane o tshisa nyama le compete ka di Kavela, le compete ka di iPhone or Samsung, ke batla le compete qualification. I'm completing my diploma. Oh, I'm done with my degree. I'm thinking of the second. That should be a conversation amongst Africans. Reska bakanto tse di sente, because education will liberate our mind. Under the EFF government, mathematics is going to be compulsory. Under the EFF government, there won't be math literacy. What is math literacy for what? Because you learn math literacy, you pass it so well, when you arrive at the university, they reject you. Therefore, they wasted your time. Fighters, I want you one day, and this is where I learned this from. I can leader courses. I went to the principal. Mathematics was compulsory in my school. Let's cancel mathematics and make history compulsory. I thought I was being revolutionary. That man said to me, Julius, you don't have to pass maths. If you have a difficulty passing maths, there is no problem. But you have to do maths. Because after school, is calculations, everything is calculations. The mathematics helps to stretch the brain. The mathematics helps to make you to have capacity to think. If you think about it, how Koloi, just before you hit the wall, you are calculating And the calculations will tell you if it I must stop here. Mara, so it tells the mete. The next thing I try usale ferry because calculations. So I want you to have the capacity to think and think critically. Comrade, food said, what would an African child do with mathematics? Fair food said, do not teach African children mathematics. So everything that an African child was denied by the African regime, we must give to them. Hamari, ababatur letse letlo sebedisa kai metse it's maths. The reason why they were saying don't do maths, where will you use it? It's the high jobs were reserved for white people. And mathematics means high job. And you will not get a high job because high jobs were for white alone. So we are going to give you free education that will permanently liberate you. Fighters, especially you, the young ones. Through education, you can change your family. Through education, you can be respected in the community. Through education, everybody will refer to you for guidance because they know your brain functions. Let education be compulsory and free of charge here in South Africa. Not only that, but no, not or they are not paying school fees. Therefore, it's free education. That's absolute nonsense. Education is not school fees alone. School uniform is part of the requirement at school. There are poor, I'm not paying school fees, but I'm rich to buy uniform. How can I be poor when it comes to school fees and be rich when it comes to school uniform? The school free of charge, uniform free of charge, or banaba, habaluko skolo, babe bana, baskaba choke yako skolo. Babina, bamudile choke, babo, sheba, the takuta thing. Uniform thing is not so one now apologetic because we want all the children to look safe so that they are confident. Feeding scheme, clothes, nama, feeding scheme, you are break twice a day. Rebafe ka breaki, rebafe after school, or rabata school, mafika high, baje. Then they can do their homework, then they can go and play with it. They will not go and steal from someone because they've got an empty stomach. It will never be free if you don't give them free food because no one, including old people, can think without food. An empty stomach shuts down the brain. So fighters, Rihanna more, and outside Mutwatlos and Anstolo, but unemployed graduate. How can you, unemployment and graduate, the same sentence? You are either a graduate or you are unemployed. Now, Rebatambo, who 6 months before you complete your course, how is practicals? Practical. How after 6 months? No one must say to you, where is experience? Practical. But so we are exposing you to the real world where you get to know how your job looks like before you finish. Also, the bosses get to see you before you finish the school. That's why practicals you don't have to apply. Come here. Because wow, when you doing practicals in their firm. So we must make sure that we give you practicals and place you in the relevant firms. But if you're unfortunately unemployed, there must be a stipend for those who are unemployed and have got no source of income. No, 350, because I got 20 rand. Banana lichipili, bakale rega got 20 rand. The same amount. Let's are qualified the same. How person to do? If you have 500, and one unemployed, but if you have 1,000, then graduate diploma degree, grade 3 down. Honors, grade 4 down. Why? Because Banaba Habakaya go school, Babu young school, their children will not go to school. How go now young school, but Roeta Karo 350 Kamalumi higher school. Yengere we are not the same. Please let people be. And why are they saying no? Why is he saying he would give them money? Where is the money going to come from? They are giving you money now, 350, because they want to pretend like they are giving you money, but they can give you more than that. Comrades, that is a waste of time. We must destroy all these provincial governments because they are useless. Hanano anga woods where you are. Hori. Musebeti premier. You want to ask that question. Musebeti want me see education. Because how do that paper it's a national paper. It's not from MEC. How do you results? National results, not provincial results. Province, that's how useless they are. They don't know how they perform. By how negotiate with salary? Teacher. I didn't negotiate the province. Didn't negotiate national. What is the role of these people? Then legislature. The work of legislature. Legislature. Legislature is supposed to make laws. How can there be a law of free state? We can't have the law of free state. We are under one constitution, and every law must be based on that constitution. Everyone else must follow the law. South Africa because the law says so, not because the provincial law says this. It's the most useless level of government. We must collapse state provincial government and then have a super metro called Free State, where there will be a mayor and councillors, thousands of councillors. Why? A councillor at least about by time. How employed Yasuba Hariri Premier or useless. Hariri MEC or useless. Makanda are the ones who are doing real work on the ground, especially if you get a good counselor from the EFF. So we don't want provincial government. That's where the money comes from, because we're going to take the money and redirect it to give to the poor students. Comrades, deputy minister, every month. Pretoria, Baba Panto, Cape Town, bodyguard Pretoria, bodyguard Cape Town, Baba first staff members Pretoria, Cape Town, Baba regularly Dijo, by the way, Pretoria, Cape Town, deputy ministers. How come what's up more? Deputy minister, ya fishery, came Marwa Patla will feel a bodyguard. Lady Minister Africa, getting matter unnecessary. We are going to reduce because one Minister of Agriculture and Minister of Fishery. Fishery is agriculture. It must go back to agriculture. Why do you have Minister of Higher Education and have the Minister of Science and Technology? Science and technology is higher education. University is about research, it's about innovation, it's about science. And therefore, you can't have two departments operating separately. That's where the money is going to come from to give the poor of the poor. Comrades, Malema, Hakatia Puso, social grant, Tabunkono, and Abatama Moba Pampuas Land, Lena Corrector, Realiteba, but by the Domco, Maratamado Manifesto, Ubadi Manifesto, I'm Malema, are social grant, are white. Bakekulu under EFF government, they are going to get 4,500 because they deserve that money. So please, charity, your social grant, your night ama Africa. Naka social grant, it's a school social grant. Mkhonoaka unsupported social grants. That's why Kinyaka we do social grant, because kitba musebeti wa social grant. How feel mkhonu chete ya social grant about cards, about aliketo China. Barekale saka la bupi balia kamo marahamunyako kamo. Everyone who comes into this house is going to eat from that, because our grandmothers and fathers are not discriminating. So, they are double. More than 852,000 per month, because these children must not go through poverty. But all over South Africa and the problem, crime. One of the reasons of crime is poverty. Corruption, we're going to fight corruption. We're going to revive all the hospitals in more free state. How can we settle more free state? You will not come back alive. Department of Health, more free state, how to use the public hospital, because they don't look after them, the facilities are destroyed. We are going to make sure that all of that is fixed here in Free State. We are going to fight crime tough. How can just two washupa leponesa kasunya leponesa allow tunya on the shoulder. Let's actually better right on the forehead, because we have no time for criminals. Aditoti ilwanza maponesa, we are not safe. The police must defend themselves against criminals. Lele na banna bao beta basadi o kwala ishumana kelena uchama o beta basadi ya chesanya madu zithaga do beta do shapa kwa wo shapa ngwana basadi they are defenders la musadi akaushaka from club afeta aushaka usakwata because of pretender ndoda sitapalo batla ukwa basadi mara wa kwati shere afeta ushapa club musadi immediately what regret or what done was think when already were apologetic when now didn't up, but we kick people when they're down. Do not hit women, do not hit children, stop GBV because traumatizer, they will about traumatizing. They will never be productive in their lives. So please protect women. And when I say protect women, do not think of your girlfriend. Do not think of another girl that undermines you. Once you respect your mother, once you feel pain for your mother, you will never inflict pain on another woman because of the love of your mother. Please, fighters, Arizamamo every day. You must never leave our house without hugging our children. No more to embrace children is to make them appreciate life and to know that someone loves them. Let's go and love our children. Let's go and love each other. Because when we love each other, we don't hate on other people. Comrades, I'm saying this because let me tell you, I'm not going to show you my love through hating on others. I will love you and love others. The reason Egypt, you must love everyone, especially African children. President why are people hating on a man who says let's unite? This man does not say let's divide. Why is the church in South Africa not coming to the defense of this man? That this man says that the children won't unite. Because what's important is humanity. What is important is love for each other, not love for fans called in Europe, there is no those who stay can go to Spain in the morning and sleep without filling in any form. The whites in Europe don't have a border, but they say we must have a border. How can you say you don't support colonialism, but you support borders? Borders were imposed on us by colonizers. And when you fight colonialism, you fight everything. Comrades, our love for Africans is a self-love. The reason I go around because when I look at you, I see myself. I am made in the same image as you. You are my mirror. And if I love myself and I see myself in you, why would I hate you? Because you are just like me. So let unity protected at all costs. I don't care what they say. They are excited now. But I want to tell them that in future, Africa will have one president. In future, Africa will have one currency. In future, Africa will have one parliament. In future, the minerals of Africa will benefit the people of Africa. Comrades, we support Palestine against apartheid Israel. We will never support the killing of people, especially women and children. We are saying there must be ceasefire in Palestine immediately because we want to save humanity. We cannot fold our arms because we are the beneficiaries of international solidarity. So when you see a flag of Cuba, you must know it's a flag of an nation. When you see a flag of Palestine, you must know it's a flag of oppressed nation. When you see the flag of the EFF, the two flags, it's because the EFF represents the oppressed nation. And therefore, anyone who's oppressed all over the world is a friend of the EFF because we believe in peace and progressive internationalism. Comrades, as we are here now, we have gathered to tell Free State the EFF is more stronger now than it was before. And therefore, we are ready to take the elections 29 We don't care about Ace Mahashule. We don't care about Saudi. We are doing our own thing. When you live here, ground forces, you're going door to door, mutu mutu. We are not going to leave any stone. And we are going to go in each and every house, including the houses of ANC members, houses of DA members, houses of the opposition. We are going hostel by hostel, school by school, factory by factory. There is no corner of Free State that must not be touched by the EFF. Fighters, I'm inviting you now to join me in the march to Union Building. We are going to Union Building, and there is no one who's going to stop the EFF from going to the Union Building. That Union Building is occupied by a criminal. We are going to replace that criminal with a progressive left movement. So when you leave, you must know that the business is starting now. Don't think, we are done. No. This is the launch of a campaign of the EFF in Free State. It is called Provincial Manifesto Launch. Provincial Manifesto Launch. It means everything it was organized by the province. We did not give them a...
So I am here to just remind you that on the 29th of May, we have to go and vote for the EFF because it is the only organization that cares about the people. We want to make sure that we fight crime everywhere in South Africa, toe for toe, because criminals have taken over the streets. Today, there is no streets where you can move freely. The girl children are unable to go and study at the library. They can't go and study as a group because there is someone waiting for them at the corner to come and violate them. Today, there is too much burglary in our communities because the people are not safe in their own homes. When a person
who respect the law stays in fear, and those who don't respect the law are not scared. It's supposed to be the other way around. That those who respect the law must live happily in peace. And there's no need to build high walls. And those who violate the law, there must be a way to deal with them. Criminals who take out guns and point at society and police, they must be dropped immediately, because no one must point a gun at the police or at our people. Today, the murder rate in South Africa is like we're in a war. When you compare the murder rate with countries where there is war, we are actually higher than the people who are dying in Ukraine. But we are not in a war. So it means the criminals have declared war against us. And they must meet us ready, so that when they enter our houses, we must find police in every street. I drove now from Lodium, coming this side. I've not met a single police van. How can I drive such a long distance without a single policeman van? Once there is no police visibility, then it is free for all. Because when a police van passes and you are about to commit crime, your conscience comes back and you are scared that you are going to be arrested. So we need police in every town, in every township, in every suburb, and every street. And those informers who inform us of people who commit dangerous crimes, who kidnap others. Once that information helps the police to arrest the perpetrators, the informer must be given money, must be paid, so that we keep on having informers informing us about criminal activities that are happening. How can people kidnap a person and they say they want 50 million? I help you to catch people who are looking for 50 million. You give me 500 rand. It doesn't make sense. I must be thanked properly so that the other person can know that when you give police reliable information, they are going to pay you, and they are going to pay you very well. Then we've got ears and eyes on the ground. I don't understand why in Jimiston there is no camera in every street, and all of our townships must have cameras. Because when you steal a cell phone here and you run 10 to this street, camera must be looking at you. When you come this way, camera is looking at you. When you go this way, the van is waiting for you. Open, you fall into the van. So we will install cameras in all areas where our people are found, because we need to fight crime with everything we have. How come police know that in this house they sell nyaupe, they sell drugs, and police don't do anything? It is because police are working with criminals to transport the drugs. Because once a house is identified as selling drugs, the police must put a trap, use one of the good customers of that house to go and persuade this person to go and buy drugs. When the transaction is busy, police must pounce on that particular person. Because General Mkhwanazi, the Commissioner of Police in KwaZulu-Natal, says the reason why he's winning with fighting crime in Natal is because once they say this person is a troublemaker, they start following that troublemaker. Wait for that troublemaker to cause trouble. Then they cause trouble for him. Because you need to monitor this house that sells drugs. People will go in and out. Then you know there is something fishy here. Then we set a trap and we arrest. We cannot allow police to be in bed with criminals. We cannot allow the drugs to be transported with police van because they can't be detected when they are being transported by the police van. And a police officer who is found to be committing crime and working with criminals must be sent to jail for a very long time because he knows the law and is not following the law. So we have a situation where we know corrupt police, but they never get arrested. If anything, they become very powerful people. Everybody is very scared of them. We cannot be scared of criminals, even when those criminals are police. Because people say Nigerians have taken business of drugs and prostitution. We don't want business of drugs. What do we do with drugs? We don't care whether you are a Nigerian or South African. When you bring drugs, it's a criminal activity and you must be treated as such. You must be treated as a criminal. Riage Park cannot be an area where people think we can go and play with drugs on the streets and no one can do anything. Where the schools have become areas where drugs are being sold. Where the churches have become areas where drugs are being sold. Destroying the future of our children. Because once you give them drugs, you are done. You have finished them. There is no way they can recover from that. This Panyaza Lisufi, the bloody crook, said when he became premier that he's going to create rehabilitation center for the drug addicts. Till today, there is no rehabilitation center that has developed except the stomach. The stomach of Panyaza is developed, but the rehabilitation center is not developed. He's eating the money that is supposed to be building a rehabilitation center. So in the EFF will build a rehabilitation center, but it will not stay for long because there will no longer be drugs for these people because we will fight drugs with everything. We want Cape Flats everywhere to be drug-free and crime-free. We need to go on a massive rate when we take over power and search all the houses in South Africa with police and soldiers to look for guns, because there are a lot of guns in these houses and these guns are not even licensed. How come we don't have a national rating day where you are just sitting in Riage Park and then police are just coming in every house? They say we are searching this house today. And imagine how many illegal firearms we can bring. The people are killing each other in the Cape Flats because the guns are just available here. They are easily available. There must be war declared on guns. And that no illegal firearm must be found in any house or on anyone, because this is what causes instability and threatens the peace in South Africa. The other thing that threatens the peace in South Africa is jobs. Because Panyaza Lisufi again said he's going to give you 400,000 jobs. Nothing. You borrow money from here to go and submit your CV. When you arrive there, they are not there. That time you even borrowed money to go to that place. So you must not allow these fools to play with you. On the 29th of May, you must punish them for having promised you jobs and did not give you a single job. Comrades and fighters, it's not true that Zimbabweans and Nigerians and foreigners are taking your jobs. Let me tell you, if you want to know their jobs, you look at one thing only. You look at the economy if it's growing. The South African economy is not growing. So even if we chase away Zimbabweans and everyone, you will still not get a job. Because jobs are created by a growing economy. So you don't say we don't have jobs because they are Zimbabweans. Look at whether the economy is growing. Because the growing economy means the business is doing business. And when they do business, they will need labor force to come and help them do business. So the South African economy is stagnant. It's not growing. It's not going anywhere. Unlike that time of Thabo Mbeki, where the economy was growing, and we could see that our country was growing because the economy was growing. You cannot grow the economy if you don't turn this country into a construction site. We have to build bridges. We have to build roads. We have to build proper houses. We have to make sure that water reticulation plants and sewer are maintained. And we build the new ones because the population is growing. We have to revive the industry. We have to revive all of economic activity in South Africa because we want to create jobs. So without any new developmental program, you can be rest assured there will never be jobs. The excuse of Zimbabweans is because they think you are illiterate, you can't read economic indicators and be able to make a rational conclusion that in the absence of a growing economy, we'll never get jobs. That's why the EFF, when it takes over, it must revive the textile industry in Cape Town, in Germiston, and everywhere else because there is market for it. Today, I'm driving with this doctor. I'm telling him that these plastic chairs that you are sitting on are produced by a byproduct which comes from Sasol, here in Sasol Bay. That byproduct, they go and sell it to China. China uses that byproduct to produce those chairs. And these chairs are expensive because they come from China. We are paying for their shipment here. But the thing is here in Sasol. Why are we not taking it there and produce these chairs here in South Africa? Do you know that we also import toothpick? Maybe some of you don't even know what is a toothpick because you got a slugs. So, match sticks, the matches that we use every day, we don't produce it. It comes from outside South Africa. The plate that you use, plastic plate, plastic, comes from outside. How can't we not produce what we use every day? Because there are customers already for it. I mean, all these women who are sitting here, Dr. Ndlozi, if you say to them, please borrow me a tap away, yes, sis. There will be war. She's going to call you the whole day, where's my tap away? But tap away that you love so much, its production is as a result of what comes from Sasol. Look at how expensive tap away is. That's why you are fighting. But we can produce it here and the same quality and then sell to you. You are customers, but we'll be creating jobs for our own people. Because there is no economy without manufacturing which can create jobs. The good thing is that, you know, Africa loves South Africa a lot. Everything that comes from South Africa, they love it. Imagine if we produce Tupperware from South Africa. It's not only for us, it's for the whole continent. We've got the market. South Africa can produce a flying machine fighter jet. Barking into Roy Falk. Roy Falk is one of the best war machines. We produce it here in South Africa. The Chinese wanted to buy 2 so that they can copy what we are doing. We refuse to sell to them. How can we produce a machine that flies and we can't produce cars? A machine that moves on the ground, we can't produce it. But we produce a machine that can fly. There is something wrong there. Someone went to sign agreements, trading agreements with Germany that we will not produce cars. You will give us cars, we'll buy from you. Went to sign with Japan and many others. We will not produce car, we'll buy from you. If we can produce a flying machine, it must not be difficult to produce a car. And if we produce a car, it means more jobs for our children. South Africa is rich of minerals. We've got platinum, we've got chrome, we've got gold, we've got diamond. Every day on the entry to Richards Bay, they are transporting our raw material out of the country. When you see those cars from tomorrow, when you look at them, you must know that inside those trucks is jobs being shipped out. Because chrome is used to produce steel. In South Africa today, there is nothing you can build without steel, which means steel is in demand. And we've got chrome to produce steel. Why are we sending our chrome to China and everywhere else? They produce steel and sell the steel back to us, when we can produce our own steel through beneficiation here in South Africa. You know, Gauteng, Johannesburg, was made by the discovery of gold. This place is not a preferred place of settlement. That's why, because it's got too much water, it was a forest. But